They laughed when they saw his car. Some pointed. Some pulled out their phones to take pictures. Others just stared, whispering to each other confused. In a world full of shiny cars and polished appearances, his vehicle stood out, but not in a good way. It was old, rusty and loud. The paint had faded. The bumper was scratched. One of the mirrors looked like it was barely holding on. Honestly, it looked like the kind of car most people wouldn't even take for free. He pulled into the parking lot slowly, careful not to draw too much attention, though it was impossible not to. The parking lot was filled with luxury vehicles, Teslas, BMWs, Lamborghinis. His old car looked like it had time-traveled from the past and taken a wrong turn into the future. People nearby started reacting. One man chuckled and said, "Wow, what year is that thing from?" A group of teens laughed loudly and recorded a video for social media, probably thinking it would go viral. Even the valet looked confused, unsure if he should park the car or call security. But here's what no one knew. The young man inside that rusty car was not what he appeared to be. He wasn't poor. He wasn't struggling. In fact, he was richer than anyone in that parking lot. He was a billionaire. And no, this isn't just a story made to sound good. This really happened. The man didn't wear designer clothes. He didn't show off expensive jewelry or pull up in $1 million car. He didn't care about any of that. What he did care about was something else entirely. Something bigger. Most people, without even speaking to him, made their judgment based on his car. That's how fast our minds work. One glance, and we think we already know someone's story. But we don't. This isn't just a story about a rusty car. This is a story about assumptions, humility, and a shocking truth that no one saw coming. By the end of it, you might start to question how you see the people around you, and how quick we all are to judge without knowing the full picture. Now let's rewind a bit and find out who this man really was, and how he turned the world's laughter into one of the most powerful statements about success. As the young man stepped out of his rusty car, the judgment grew louder, though most of it came through smirks, side eyes, and whispers. He wore simple clothes, just jeans, sneakers, and a basic t-shirt. Nothing fancy, no flashy watch, no brand, name, anything. To the people around him, he looked completely out of place. A couple nearby leaned toward each other and quietly joked, "Maybe he's delivering food." Another person walking past gave him a strange look and laughed under their breath. Some even recorded videos pretending to admire the luxury cars while focusing their cameras on the rusty one behind them, hoping to turn his embarrassing moment into internet entertainment. When he walked toward the entrance of the luxury restaurant in that plaza, the staff didn't greet him like they did others. They smiled politely, but clearly didn't expect him to afford anything there. One waiter even looked at him and whispered to a coworker, "Are we really going to let that guy in?" No one offered help. No one asked if he needed anything. They simply assumed he didn't belong because of the way he looked, and more importantly, the car he drove. The thing is, he noticed it all. Every glance, every fake smile, every whisper. But he didn't respond. He didn't try to prove anything. He didn't show anger or try to explain who he was. Instead, he just smiled calmly, walked in, and quietly took a seat. Meanwhile, outside, people kept staring at the rusty car. Some took photos and joked about posting them online. To them, it was just another moment to laugh at someone who didn't fit in. But they had no idea that they were about to be the punchline of their own joke. Because the man they were laughing at? He could have bought every car in that lot, without blinking. He just chose not to. So, who was this man that everyone was mocking? Why would someone with billions of dollars choose to drive a rusty old car and dress like a regular guy? To understand that, we need to go back a few years. His name is Jay. He didn't grow up rich. In fact, he came from a middle-class family that had to think twice before buying anything extra. His parents worked hard, and they taught him the value of money early on. He wasn't handed anything. No big inheritance. No family business waiting for him. Everything he had, he built from the ground up. Jay was different from most kids his age. While others spent hours playing video games, He spent hours learning. He'd watch free videos online, read books, and teach himself about coding, business, and investing. He failed a lot, especially in the beginning, but he never stopped trying. In his early 20s, he started building small apps and websites for clients. Then, he created a tool for small business owners to manage their sales and customers online, a simple SaaS product that exploded in popularity. Within 2 years, big companies started noticing him. They offered to buy him out, but he refused. He believed in what he was building. Instead of selling, he scaled up. He hired a small remote team, reinvested everything, and kept improving the product. Within a few more years, that one idea turned into a full tech company serving thousands of businesses worldwide. And while his name wasn't famous, his product was. His company got featured in major publications. People started calling him a quiet genius or the invisible billionaire because he stayed out of the spotlight. He didn't care about fame. He didn't post about his life on social media. And most people had no idea what he looked like. Despite having the money to buy multiple homes, luxury cars, and designer clothes, Jay chose to live simply. He still ate at regular restaurants. He still wore plain clothes. And yes, he still drove the same old car he had before becoming rich. When asked why, his answer was always the same. The car still works. It gets me from point A to B. Why change it just to impress people I don't know? To Jay, wealth wasn't about showing off. It was about freedom. Freedom to live life on his own terms without pretending to be someone he's not. And that's what makes this story so powerful. While people were busy judging him based on how he looked, he was quietly building a future that most people could only dream of. A few days later, Jay returned to the same place, same rusty car, same calm attitude. But this time something unexpected happened. As he stepped out of his car, a man walking by stopped and stared. He recognized Jay from an online business article he had read just a few weeks earlier. His eyes widened. He pulled out his phone and searched again to be sure. The headline read, "Meet the young tech billionaire who lives like he's broke." And right there in the photo was Jay. Same clothes, same car. Within minutes, the news spread like wildfire. People started whispering again, but this time in a completely different tone. "Wait, that's him? Are you serious? The guy we laughed at is a billionaire?" Some people rushed to delete their videos from before. Others stood awkwardly, hoping to get a picture with him or at least apologize. A few staff members who had ignored him before were now offering the best seats in the restaurant. But Jay didn't change. He simply smiled, thanked them politely, and carried on as usual. Soon, articles started popping up online. Social media posts went viral. Comments poured in. Respect to this man. Wealth with humility. This is why you don't judge people by appearances. The guy with the rusted car just bought the whole building face. The same people who mocked him were praising him. The same people who looked down on him were now trying to be seen with him. Funny how quickly opinions change when the truth comes out. But Jay didn't let any of that attention get to his head. He didn't return the hate or call anyone out. He just kept being himself, humble, quiet, and focused. And through it all, the one thing that stood out the most wasn't his success, or even the surprise of his billionaire identity. It was how calmly he handled being laughed at, and how he turned that moment into a powerful lesson for everyone watching. This story is more than just a shocking twist. It's a reminder, a powerful one, about how fast we judge people based on what we see, without knowing anything about what's real. Most people looked at Jay's old car and thought they knew everything about him. In their eyes, he was poor, unsuccessful, and didn't belong. But they were completely wrong. He had more money than anyone in that parking lot. He could have bought every luxury car there if he wanted to. But he didn't. Why? Because he didn't need to prove anything to anyone. Jay once said in an interview, "Money doesn't change who I am. It just gives me the freedom to be who I've always been." And that's what true wealth really is. Not just the money, but the mindset. The confidence to live life on your own terms, without needing to impress people. We live in a time where people care more about appearances than reality. Expensive clothes, fancy cars, luxury vacations, all to look rich. But real success? It doesn't always look like what you expect. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it drives an old, rusty car and walks past you without saying a word. This story teaches us to be slow to judge and quick to listen, because you never know what someone's going through, what they've built, or who they really are behind the surface. And maybe next time you see someone who doesn't look successful, you'll think twice before making assumptions. Because who knows? They might just be the smartest, richest, or kindest person in the room, and you won't even realize it until it's too late. So what can we really take away from this story? Sometimes the richest person in the room won't be wearing a suit. They won't be showing off a Rolex or arriving in a sports car. Sometimes they'll be the one no one notices, the one people laugh at, ignore, or underestimate. But here's the truth: real success doesn't need to shout. It speaks quietly through actions, choices, and character. Jay's story isn't just about money. It's about staying humble, staying focused, and not letting the world change who you are. He reminded us that you don't have to look rich to be rich. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. And most importantly, you don't have to follow the crowd to be great. So next time you feel judged, or you catch yourself judging someone else, remember this story. And ask yourself, what if the person I'm laughing at today is the one I'll be learning from tomorrow? If this story made you think differently, if it gave you even a small reminder to stay grounded, then share it. Let someone else hear this message. Drop a comment below and tell us, have you ever been judged unfairly? Or have you misjudged someone too quickly? And of course, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, because we've got more stories like this that just might change the way you see the world. Thanks for watching, and remember, real worth isn't what you show, it's what you live.